Thursday night stamp therapy. I'm so excited that you are joining me tonight. We're going to make 3 cards, and this week I'm focusing on some really fun designer paper that is in the mini catalog. This is in the January through April 2023 Stampin' Up! Mini catalog, and you might have overlooked this paper in the back of the catalog because it is exclusively for hosts. So when you have an order party that's over $150, you get to choose host rewards, and you can choose host exclusive items like the At the Pond stamp set or the Flowers and More designer paper. There's more in the annual catalog, or you can choose any product that you want with your Stampin' rewards. And so this paper, Flowers and More, is one of those host exclusive gifts. I know, aren't these colors so beautiful? I think that they are just so bright and fun. And so I've had this paper for a couple months, and I haven't used it really very much. And so we're going to break it out tonight. I'm going to show you actually. I'm trying to pull out a card I made. Here it is. I did make one card with this paper. I thought it was so much fun. With the bunny punch, which of course has sold out. So, well, it's temporarily sold out. It is going to come back. I think not until May though. Craziness. Anyway, this paper is so beautiful. I thought we needed to really have some fun with it. This is a 12 by 12 paper pack. And it's one of those jumbo ones. Remember last week we used Design a Daydream? This is just like that. There's 48 sheets for each of 12 different patterns. And it is 12 by 12. So I'm going to start really quick by going through this paper and showing you these beautiful designs. The colors, we've got some polished pink, some shaded spruce, some blackberry bliss, parakeet party, orchid oasis, balmy blue, starry sky, sweet sorbet, crushed curry, pale papaya. That's right, there are a lot of colors in this paper. And I feel like there's a lot, oops, that's a double. There's a lot going on. They're very busy patterns, but they're just so beautiful. And so we're going to use some of this paper on every single card that we're making tonight. And I think you'll see how versatile this paper is and how much fun you can have with these. Let me show you the flip side. These are the busy kind of flowers. And then we always have the quieter B side that has some more subdued patterns that you can use. I just feel like they're so versatile. And if you look through the catalog, you're going to see these kind of all over, mixed and matched with different stamp sets. Oh, hi everybody. I'm so glad that you're joining. I'm going to try to keep up with your comments. I see Sue's got her eyes on the Illini game. Hey-oh. I love it. And Margaret's asking about the bunny. So is the bunny in the new catalog? Listen, I don't know for sure, but since it's not going to be back in stock until May, I think that's a pretty good sign that it is, because if it wasn't, I think that its fate would be where the clover punch is, and it would be gone like permanently. So I don't know. I haven't seen the new catalog, and Stampin' Up! Hasn't said, but I think that means yes, that the bunny punch is going to be carried over to the annual catalog. So if you didn't get it before it sold out, don't worry, it is going to come back, I promise. Oh, dark but pleasant Florida, says Melanie. Well, dark because it's late, I hope. But I know we're getting some bad weather kind of all over the country again. Another storm rolling through. And knock on wood, this isn't, well, underneath it's real wood. I'm traveling this weekend on Saturday morning, real early, leaving to go to Utah. You guys know why I'm going to Utah for my trip. I'm going out a few days early, and I'm really, really excited about that. So fingers crossed the weather does not delay our travel at all. All right, let's jump in. I'm kind of just not sure where to start. We're going to start over here. And I don't want to show you my finished cards, so I'm going to try to just show you my pieces. I think this is what we need, and the little one. Okay, so we're going to start with this color. A lot of the colors in this paper are are in colors. So we have the Orchid Oasis, which is the lighter color, the Starry Sky, which is the details in there. And then we see Parakeet Party, which is the brighter green in here. We see some Sweet Sorbet, which is the red. We see some, what's the other in color? Sweet Sorbet. Oh, Tahitian Tide. Maybe that's Tahitian Tide in there. Yeah, that bright blue. And then we also see some of the other in colors like Fresh Freesia, Pale Papaya. So lots of in colors going on in here. Polished Pink. And I love that. An excuse to use some of the in colors. So the colors that I chose for this card are Balmy Blue, Orchid Oasis, and Starry Sky. I'm kind of going with like a monochromatic colors with the blues. And the stamps that I'm using is called Picturesque. And this is probably one that you just walked right by in the mini catalog because I think it's kind of a sleeper stamp set. It's here on page 64. Again, I'm in that purple covered catalog, January through April 2023. Picturesque, this is kind of a builder stamp set. So you're going to have these different stamps that you're going to build to create these image. And I really was drawn to this one just because of the way they layer. And I just love the outdoors and taking pictures and trees. And that's my jam. So this stamp set really was calling to me. And it's right after, shortly after that Greatest Journey bundle, and I think some of this paper goes really beautifully with this stamp set as well. But today we're going to use some of the Flowers and More paper. I've got this little pattern with the Orchid Oasis and Starry Sky. I don't need two pieces. I don't know why I have two. So let's do some stamping. I'll have all the measurements for you in the video description when we're all done, but I don't have Post-its. I apologize. We're going to just talk through the measurements and then you can check in the list. This first piece is 3 1/4 by 3 3/4 of basic white cardstock. And I'm going to start with the dark image. So we're going to have that one be dark. This is going to be medium and that's going to be the balmy blue. And then we got some sentiments and some birds. So we're going to start with that darker image. And I have to say, I did try this in greens and I don't know, I was struggling because the sky needed to be blue, but I sort of liked the idea of the monochromatic. And anyway, we just ended up with the blues, all blues. So please forgive me for blue trees, but I guess in the evening time when the sun is going down, everything has kind of a tint to it, doesn't it? All right, I'm starting down here. And I experimented with the size, and I really liked this size for my piece here. So I've got kind of an even border around the edges, and everything else is going to kind of fit in place. So the next thing is going to be the center. And I tried this both ways. I tried starting with the lighter one and working down to the darker one, and I found that starting with the dark one first helped me to be able to line up the next pieces because these all kind of fit together like a puzzle. So you can kind of see like this dips down and fits in here. And there's a thing that goes right in here and another one that goes right in here. And so if you line all those up, you can get them just right and then go down. And it just fits together like a beautiful picture. This is really interesting. I wonder if it's going to dry a little darker because when I did it earlier, there was a lot more difference between the two. And right now it looks very similar, doesn't it? Well, let's stamp the other piece, and maybe as it dries on our cardstock, it'll lighten up a little bit. I think that's usually the case. All right, next up I'm using Balmy Blue for the sky. And again, these little pieces are going to line up like our puzzle. And so by starting with the dark one first, you really can see through the lighter color to get it where you want it to go. So this is going to go right on top and layer here. Oh my gosh. I love it. It's kind of like that oceanfront stamp set where you sort of build the scene. And I do think maybe it's just doing the lighter one. Now I think that middle one looks lighter. I can see the difference a little bit more. We're going to add some details, mostly some birds, and and I think the birds are going to make this look more like a sky. When Claire came in, she saw me working and she said, "Oh, it looks like coral under the sea," because I was using blue, and I thought, it kind of does. I totally get that. But hopefully the birds will help it look, to look more sky and tree-like. Okay, next up, we're going to do, oh, this is really fun. And I guess I should have started with the other card. This was the second one that I designed. And so I want to bring in a punch, and I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you this bundle here in the mini catalog, page 53. This is the Happy Labels punch, and it has one of those pick-a-punches. So there's two different designs, and then there's different tracks. I'm going to show you how that works. And here's the stamp set that goes with it, Happy Labels. And I was going to use this on my second card, but I cannot find it in my stamp room. I thought I got it out, but now it's not anywhere on my desk. I think I have a little cleaning to do. So hopefully it will turn up, but I had to choose a different stamp set for our second card. But anyway, I'm using this punch on both cards. So you can see we have got the different designs. And then, like our other pick-a-punches, there's different tracks. So the inside one is a 1/2 inch, and then the middle one is 3/4, and the outside one is 1 inch. So the idea is that you take your cardstock piece and you can put it in the track and send it all the way back there. This piece is so small. I'm going to have to hold it a little bit. And then you punch the end. And we're going to flip it over and do the other end. And I've got my finger on it. It's so small. It's not staying in the track because it's so short. Okay. But if it was a longer piece, you'd be able to put it in there without any issues and just punch each side. I think it'll work better for our next card. So I'm using the words that came in the stamp set. Where's our stamp set? Here it is. We've got love knows no boundaries, hello, just because, press on, and difficult roads bring you to beautiful destinations. I love all of them, but for this one, I'm going to do just because. And I'm doing Starry Sky ink on Balmy Blue cardstock. That was a little bit crooked. I'm going to try again. See if I can do it better. Oh my gosh, that's crooked again too. All right, just because I'm me and I want to be perfect, I'm going to punch again and try again. I always cut extra pieces for my greetings, just in case. And you know what? Here's a tip. Let's try this because I think this is going to help us. Part of the problem, I think, on sentiments and getting them straight is if you have them on a really small block, it's hard to see around the block to see where the cardstock is. Oh, scoot over. So I think having it on a bigger block will help me to be able to see through and center it better over the cardstock piece. Better, I think. I'm going to try one more time. Oh, perfect. Okay, so if you're struggling to line it up, right, you can't see the edges of the cardstock through a skinny block. So try using a bigger block to help you to be able to see over the cardstock and center better. I'm grabbing my I can't find anything. Grabbing my grid paper because I want to stamp a little bit on the inside piece. And so I brought in the other sentiment. It says, difficult roads bring you to beautiful destinations. That's really pretty. And then I'm going to do some of these trees in the Orchid Oasis at the bottom. I love that. Okay. Wonderful. Let's get our card put together now. We have our Starry Sky card base, which is 5.5 by 8.5. And then the inside piece, I cut it a little bit smaller. This one is 3¾ inches by 5 inches. And I don't know, I think I was just cutting the front piece at 3¾ and so I just decided to have the inside piece be the same width. So that's on the inside. And then our 2" by 5.5" piece of cardstock is going to go down at the bottom. And I'm going to leave a little bit of room there, just like, I don't know, 1/4 inch or so. And then we have our little scene. Oh my gosh, isn't it beautiful? And this is going to go on, let's do some Stampin' Dimensionals on this. I did debate on whether or not to add this onto another cardstock layer, but I really like the big white border that I've left, and so I'm going to leave it on just the white cardstock. If you prefer to have something a little sturdier, I highly recommend using the thick basic white cardstock for your layer if you want to have that be a little thicker. Then I have just 1 dimensional over here, and that's going to go on. Half of it is hanging off, so that's where the dimensional is. The other half is going over here. Okay, just because difficult roads bring you to beautiful destinations. I love that. I feel like we could use a little embellishing, don't you? What kind of embellishments do we want? Are these too blingy? I kind of like, I'm looking to see what else I have. Oh, these might work. These classic dots. Something a little subtle and just a couple dots. I like that they're white. So this one is from the mini catalog. It's called Enamel Dot Essentials. And the colors here are white, crumb cake, and navy. Can you tell that's navy? So we have some different sizes of each of those. And I think I'm going to do 3. I don't know. What do we think about that? I always struggle. I always struggle with the dots and where to put them. How to angle them. If this is a little bit longer, I think I would have it right there. Okay, I'm going to leave it like that. I think that the white dots are kind of a nice accent because they're not too flashy. I think this card would be really good to send to anyone. Like, it's not, sometimes you have to be careful about adding too much bling and, you know, too much ribbon, because then it just is too feminine, and it's harder to send it to anyone. But I think this card could go to anyone. I like the way that turned out, just because. So this stamp set, if you're just joining us, this one is called Picturesque, and it's really kind of a gorgeous gorgeous stamp set. One I think that has gotten overlooked a lot in the catalog because it doesn't have any dies, so it's sort of like a standalone stamp set, and similar to some other stamp sets, so I think that's also why it gets overlooked. But I really love the way that looks. Let me bring back in the catalog page so you can see. I don't have any other samples. This is the first time that I've stamped with this stamp set, but I really just loved the samples in here. So you can see they've got it in purples and greens, and you can just do all kinds of things, building your scene using different stamp sets or different stamps to build the scene differently. And then I guess this would be like some clouds or just another layer in there. I left it out, but that's what it would look like if we added it on there. I know, really beautiful. I'll have the item number for this one and all the items that I used today in the video description when I'm all done. I'll get that added for you. Well, let's move on to our next card. I did intend to use that Happy Labels bundle, but I just can't find the stamp set. So the one I wanted to use, it says, "You've got the biggest heart." And I just loved that sentiment. And so for my card, I decided to incorporate a heart. Well, it doesn't make sense without the sentiment. You've got the biggest heart. So I tried to pick another one that would kind of have the same theme. So I think I'm going to use this one that says, "Just a little reminder that you are loved." This is from the Framed Florets set. And this has been out for a while. We had it a couple months early during the Fitting Florets promotion. And so you might have this one already at home. I love all the sentiments. It's got a lot of great sentiments. And just a reminder that you are loved, I think, is perfect to go with our heart. So the designer paper I'm using for this one is another piece from that Flowers and More paper set. That's kind of our theme tonight. And so I picked out some of the colors that are in this designer paper. So for the card base, we're doing, what are we doing? Balmy Blue, and then Shaded Spruce and Crushed Curry. And then for the red heart, we have that Sweet Sorbet. So for these two pieces, I'm going to use that bow punch. Every time I say it, I second guess myself. We used this one last week and we did it in silver on that with sympathy card. Do you guys remember that one? Let me grab it. I love the way this card turned out. We made this one last week. If you haven't seen it, I'll try to remember to link in the video description, or just check out last week's Thursday Night Stamp Therapy. We used the gilded gilded designer paper, and we punched that in the silver cardstock to go with our sympathy card. Well, this time I'm doing it in two different colors to kind of bring in the different colors from the designer paper. Okay, I wanted to do something fun here, and so we are going to make a pocket card. So I'm going to take our card base, which is 5.5 by 8.5. And I'm going to cut from from the top of where the fold is down to the bottom, and just lining that up in the track. And then I'm just going to give that a quick little cut so that we have now a angled card front. And I kind of debated on this, but I'm going to go ahead and seal it closed to make a pocket. At first I thought I would do like a card in a card and have it just be a flap, but I was worried it just wouldn't stay put for me. So I'm going to close it and we're going to have it be a pocket. So I'm just going to peel off that tear and tape and then close it over to create a pocket. So now we've got a pocket card, and our card base here is 3 1/4 by 8.5. And then you're going to fold that in half. So it's like a little card that is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And that is going to slide in here like this. For the inside, I have a piece that is 3 inches by 4 inches. And I feel like we should stamp something or add designer paper. Where's our stamp set? Let's see, maybe we can throw in a flower. It's not quite the same flowers, but I think we could still add a little floral on there. Let's go with this one. And I don't like the way that matches or doesn't match. I don't know, maybe a little piece of the designer paper, like to go on the inside here. Okay. I just reached down. I'm just going to do like just a little piece across the bottom so that on the inside we still have some of that same color. And then you could, if you had another sentiment you wanted to include in there, you could add that. And you know what, actually, let's do that. This, I think that would go well in here is the one that says, so lucky to call you friend. So let's do that on the inside. And we're going to do Starry Sky ink. Okay, this goes in our pocket, and then here we have our heart and our little foliage, and then we're going to do our sentiment across the front. This is feeling boring. I think maybe we need to add a little something here. All right, so for the sentiment, I used that Happy Label punch again, that Happy Label Pick-a-Punch. This one is 3/4 inch wide, and I'm gonna line it up in the track and punch one end, and then take it out, turn it around, line it up in that center track. This one's longer, so a lot quicker and easier than the last project that we did. So this is going to go on the front, and we're going to use the sentiment that says, just a little reminder that you are loved. So let's add that. I'll try again. It wasn't centered well. There. Just a little reminder that you are loved. And I don't know what the difference is. When I was making this card earlier, maybe I just cut it different. Let's see. So here was my prototype, and I did kind of cut it a little shorter, which made that piece a little smaller. And then the card, I was going to have it be more of a full-size card, but that won't work if it's going to stick in the pocket. So if we made this into a pocket and move this over here, maybe is that a smaller blue space that fits our embellishments a little bit better? Do we like that? Yeah. Why did that make a difference? So it's just a little shorter. And when I made it earlier, I kind of just did more of a random point. So I cut from the top corner, and then I didn't go all the way down here. I kind of just cut at a deeper angle. So we're going to use that one today. And another option you could do if you thought that there was too much blue cardstock, another option is to just add another panel of designer paper. And I don't know, maybe we should do that. What do you think? Should we just add a contrasting or another pattern? I'm worried about it being too busy with these other elements, but I don't know. I really just like the smaller one better. We're going to go with this one tonight. Okay, so we have our heart, and I'm going to just attach these. Like that. And then that's going to go on with some Stampin' Dimensionals. 1, 2, 3. I love that idea. Who just said that about the, Melissa says stamp balmy blue flowers on the triangle pocket. I love that idea, but I don't have a stamp pulled out that is similar in style. And the one I used for the sentiment, this one, I just don't think that those flowers go very well. It's just like a different style of flower. So I'm going to just leave it plain. But I'm going to say what I always say. You can make yours however you want at home and customize it. So if you want to add designer paper, or if you want to stamp, if you want to make your card a little bit bigger so that it takes up more room, you can make your card however you'd like. So lucky to call you friend. Just a little reminder that you're loved. I think the card needs to be just a little bit bigger. A splatter, Tony, that's a good idea on the balmy blue. I think I would like that card, this card, to be a little bit bigger. And if it was a little bit bigger, then I think it would just take up a little bit more room and there would be less blue, and maybe I wouldn't mind it so much. Let's try that. I'm gonna get out a piece. We'll get the right measurements. Sometimes, I don't know, this happens to me all the time. Sometimes I'm stamping and the measurements just aren't quite right, and I redo it, and then I like it better. So if at first you don't succeed, try again. Okay, let's see. Let's go with, I'm gonna go 3.5 inches. And then this one was 4 1/4. I'm gonna try 4 1/2. Let's try 4 3/4. And then cutting at 4 3/4. So all together, 4 3/4 and 4 3/4 is 8 9 1/2. So this is 3.5 by 9 1/2. I like that better. Don't you think? There's a nice border around that. Okay, so 3.5. So a little bit wider and a little bit taller. And this would be, I'm not gonna restamp it because you saw me do it already. But this is what I would have on the inside. So lucky to call you friend. And then we can see that beautiful paper. I love the way that these kind of pull in the other colors from the designer paper. There is our second card. So lucky to call you friend. We're still using this designer paper, and we're going to keep going and use it some more on our next card. Our next card uses some brand new product from the online exclusives. Ooh, are you guys excited about those online exclusives? This has been so much fun. On March 1st, Stampin' Up! Announced some brand new product in the online exclusives category of the online store. And they have been a little mysterious about how long these items will be available for. And I think a lot of it just depends on the popularity. So like the circle punches have temporarily sold out already, as well as the irresistible bloom dies and the loose frosted dots. I guess they just didn't anticipate how much we would love those things. The good news is they are coming back. So if you didn't get a chance to get them, it's not too late. I anticipate, and this is my assumption, interpretation, that these items are going to be available for 6 to 12 months or longer, just depending on their popularity. Some things, if they're not selling well, when they sell out, they won't reorder them. But things that are selling really fast and are really popular, then Stampin' Up! Absolutely is going to order them. They want to make them available for all of us. So if you didn't get everything that you wanted, it's okay. It's definitely gonna be restocked. So the irresistible bloom dies coming back, the loose frosted dots coming back, the circle punches coming back. Today I'm going to show you a project using the tropical leaf bundle, the radiating stitches, and the basics 3D embossing folders. So there's still lots of good stuff that's brand new to keep you going, keep you stamping. And of course, we've got the mini catalog, and the annual catalog's coming out real soon. Let me show you these dies really quick. I haven't had a chance to do much with them yet, but I love the versatility of them. This set includes 6 dies. This is the big one. It's called Radiating Stitches, and so you can see we've got the radiating stitches around the base. So also I want to point out that it cuts a frame, but it doesn't cut the inside. So we have we have the solid white cardstock and just the stitched framed border. The other dies are the same way. If you wanted it to be a skinny frame, then you could die cut these together, and you would get this with that cut out of the middle to have like a frame. Okay, so we've got 3 different rectangle dies. And again, they all perform the same way. So all of them are going to cut like this, just in the different sizes, and you can layer them if you want to have a skinny frame with the center cut out. Then we also have a heart, a small circle, and a large circle. And this again is going to be the same thing where you're going to have the white center in the middle. So just the stitching kind of around the edges, and same with those as well. Okay, so we've got 2 circles, 1 heart, and 3 rectangle frames. I just saw the news about the Illini loss. Oh, what a bummer. Okay, Radiating Stitches die. The other thing that we're using on this card is the Basics 3D embossing folders. Oh my gosh, these are so cool. This is a package of 3 embossing folders, and we've got the different patterns. There's like a starburst or flower, the very I almost want to say fuzzy. It reminds me of that fabric that has the raised dots. And then my favorite one is the crosshatch, and this is the one that we're using on this card. I've got a 3x3 piece of white cardstock that I've embossed for this card. These are so much fun. So these are part of the online exclusives 3D or Basics 3D embossing folders, and this is a set. They come all 3 together, so really versatile. You're going to be able to use those for so many different things. And then lastly, we've got our new punch bundle. It's called Tropical Leaf, and it has a coordinating punch that punches out the large image. And I was kind of confused about these at first, but I think the leaves are meant to kind of like hang down like from the vine. I think this would be really cool just to make a like a background with it. So we're going to use this one tonight, Tropical Leaf with a coordinating punch. And I did bring in some of that designer paper. And after I read to you the colors in the designer paper, I realized this is probably Parakeet Party, and I thought it was Granny Apple Green, but you know what, I think it looks like it could be Granny Apple Green. My designer paper piece is 1 3/4 inches by 4 3/4 inches, and I'm going to trim a banner tip. And again, I'll have the measurements for you in the video description. I'm sorry that I didn't get the Post-its for you this time. So cutting a little banner tip on that. We've got our 3x3 piece that's embossed. Then we have a piece that is 1 1/4 by 4 1/4. This is shaded spruce cardstock. So we're going to be layering all of our pieces together. And if you recognize the layout, I made some cards with this layout in around November, I think. No, it must have been December, because it might have been November. I also made one with the gnomes and the By the Sea, what is it, Seaside Bay? This bundle. And I love this layout. I thought it'd be fun, so we're going to use it again. Okay, this is going to go on the inside, and I am going to, I just realized the sentiment is hello. So on the inside, I'm going to put hello, because that's what I say. And then on the front, we're going to just have one hello. And then we're going to have some of the leaves. And this is a 2-step leaf. So we have the lighter color, which is the Granny Apple Green. Oh, man. There is a hair on my stamp, and you can see the line. Let's turn it over. Now, my ink pad, I don't know. I re-inked it recently, and I don't know if it just, I don't know. I don't know why I have like it's darker in some areas and lighter than others. For this particular stamp, I actually don't mind it and I kind of like it. But if it was another stamp set, I may not want that variation in color. Here's the two-step part. It's just a line, but gosh, I just love that little detail and I feel like it really completes the stamped image. I turned it and stamped the other way because I had a little ink here that I wanted to avoid. So that's why I stamped it in opposite directions. That's the only reason. We're going to use that tropical leaf punch and we're going to punch those images out. I love our coordinating punch bundles. It makes it so easy to cut out your images and then they really pop. I was debating on whether we needed to add a leaf here, but now that I did the double greeting, I don't know that I would want to add. I'm just going to leave it like this, but I love this border, don't you? So let's add that on the inside. And then we'll put the rest of our card together. What a fun surprise to open it up and kind of see that extra stitching. Our border, or our banner, rather, sorry, is going to go over here. And I'm going to kind of do an even spacing. Next up is our shaded spruce cardstock strip that's going to go across the card. And then our 3x3 cardstock square. This is, again, is just the basic white and layering it like that. We're going to add our leaves and our hello is going to be over there. So let's do this with some Stampin' Dimensionals. What do you guys think of this bundle? Tropical leaf. I am a sucker for punch bundles, and so I couldn't help myself. I just thought it was loads of fun. I think really fun to do a scrapbook too. If you are going someplace tropical on vacation, you can come home and use this tropical leaf bundle in your scrapbook. And gonna add that, hanging over the edge a little bit. Hello. Hello, hello. Oh, Kathy says she just ordered it. Yay. I love it. Oh, I'm gonna have to check out Sarah Douglas's video. Tony, thanks so much for letting me know. With the long stem, I will definitely check it out. And I'm not sure if it's on YouTube. If I find Sarah's video, I will put it in the video description. Usually she posts stuff on Facebook and on Instagram. Either way, I should be able to link to it. So I will link that up. There's also some samples in the online store. Some card ideas. So if you go to the online exclusive section and you click on any of these items, then when you click on it, you'll see some project ideas. It's a little weird not to have a printed catalog with these products in it. Normally we would have those project ideas right in the catalog, but for the online exclusives, we don't. So be sure to check out the store page and look at the project inspiration created by concept artists to inspire you. I've shared a few samples on my social media, on my blog and on Facebook, so be sure to check that out. Or you can check in the online store. This flyer, if you're interested in printing that out, is available in the video description right now. You can check out that link and print this out for yourself. So if you want to have a handy guide with the item numbers and the prices for the online exclusives, you can print this and have it, just put it in your catalog along with everything else so that you can keep track of where things are. Because I know sometimes when you see things, you know, you're trying to find them in the catalog. And so print this out so you have it handy and you can see what some of the options are. This does not guarantee availability. A lot of these things, well, Several of them are not available right now, but they will all have different end dates. They might sell out at different times, but it's just helpful to have this upon the initial release, I think. So check that out in the video description. One last reminder, if you're interested in subscribing to Paper Pumpkin, tomorrow, the 10th, Friday, March 10th, is the last day to sign up for the 10 Years of Growth Paper Pumpkin kit. This is an anniversary kit from Paper Pumpkin. It includes a free stamp set, a bonus gift when you get this kit. And you can subscribe at tinyurl.com/getpaperpumpkin. I'll have the link in the video description for you, so you can check that out. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe by tomorrow, and those kits will be shipping next week. I'm so glad that you joined me today. I hope that you enjoyed the projects that I shared using the Flowers and More designer paper. Again, this is a host paper, a host exclusive that you can get when you order $150 or more or have a qualifying party. So many bright patterns, and we used them on all of our cards tonight that we made. We did a pocket card and the picturesque card and the tropical leaf card. So leave a comment, let me know which of these cards inspired you. Are you going to make any of them at home or do something similar using the products that you have? I'd love to hear from you, so please leave a comment. Let me know if you enjoyed the video, and be sure to give it a thumbs up here on YouTube. Share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on future videos. My goal is to pre-record a video for you next Thursday. I will be out of town. I won't be home, but hopefully I'll have a video ready to go. So be sure to tune in next Thursday night at 7:15 p.m. We've also got a Sunday stamping video ready for you for Sunday at noon, and it is our swap video week. The Great Big Card Swap will air at 7 p.m. on Tuesday with some cards, and the theme this month is black and white with a pop of color. I think you're really going to love the cards that I've received already, and I can't wait to share them with you. Have a great night, and I'll see you next time. Bye.